Hello, hello. Welcome to Mindset to Results. Today, our guest is Amy Lisek. She is the founder and CEO of nonprofit organization called Greece in Love. And today we will speak about importance of contribution. Hi, Amy.
Hi, Elena. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much for being guest on our podcast, and it is my pleasure to have you here and speak about you about such important topic as power of giving.
Absolutely. Yes, I'm very passionate about the topic, so looking forward to it.
Yeah, I can see it from your energy and your beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Yes, tell us a little bit how you started this journey, how you opened non-profitable organization and dedicated so much your time, energy, effort to help people. Why it
Absolutely.
is for you so important?
Absolutely. Thank you for asking. So, I founded the nonprofit Grace and Love Inc. in 2020 at the height of the COVID pandemic. And as you know, it was such a hard time for everyone. The mental health crisis was at an all time high, and people were struggling even more. And my experiences, I have over a decade in the field of helping others in human services and social work in various capacities. And my own story is that I have gone through tough times, and so I have a lot of empathy and compassion. I know what it's like to go through various struggles, whether it's life stress or mental health battles. And so I really felt called to found the nonprofit. Like I said, in 2020, it's primarily online based. So if you go to graceandlove.org, we offer a positive, uplifting, encouraging website where people can find blog posts, where it's actually a free blogging platform to uplift one another. And the primary outreach that we do as part of our 501c3 nonprofit charity is that anyone can submit a request on our website to receive a free encouraging care package shipped directly to them. And it's been really a way to spread hope and encouragement to people going through difficult times. And that's something I'm really passionate about.
Yeah, thank you so much. How do you get happiness in what you do? Yes, how do you get? Because some people think that in order to give, I have to achieve some level of wellness, of income, and then I will start giving. So, how you
Mm.
started giving? What was your beginning?
Yeah, that's a great question. I feel like it's important to just start where you're at and just take the first step in faith. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. is quoted saying, "You don't have to see the full staircase, just take the first step in faith." And for me, my faith has been everything, and I've trusted in the journey that I've been on, and I believe in partnering with God in the process, and that's part of what I share in the book that I published as well. But really, if you focus on just what can I do today to move forward, and even if it's small steps, what can I do today to make a difference and give back? It's been Next month will be 5 years of the anniversary of founding the nonprofit. And so it's been quite a journey of building it from the ground up. And, at first, I thought maybe it would happen overnight. Maybe I would launch this website and just like thousands of people would find it. And that didn't happen. It was actually a slow growth. And I thank God for that because I didn't really have the resources if I got overwhelmed in the beginning. Now I feel like I'm at a great place in the journey of, okay, I've got 5 years of experience, and really experience builds confidence and it builds trust in the process. And so I like to remind myself progress, not perfection. Just keep going and keep moving forward one day at a time.
Yes, I liked how you said that you collaborate with God. Yes, so you don't just trust on yourself, but you know that when you do right steps, the universe will support you. Yes, and it is important to live with this expectation that you are not alone, that you do one step and then you will show the next step. And
I
also
love that.
Yes, and also how Steve Jobs told that you can never connect the dots when you look forward. You only connect the dots when you look backwards. And you
Absolutely.
have to trust that in future somehow these dots will connect. And this
Yeah.
happens with when you really find what is your passion, become obsessed with that idea, and you can see it as already done, is already there. And when you have this mindset, you open to receive and you look for different opportunities and different signs, and those signs sometimes comes like a whisper of intuition. And when you looking for those signs, you can hear them. And the most important is to act immediately upon that idea. And this is how it will bring to other doors which will open and you will see the next steps.
Absolutely. Yes, and just to stay receptive and trust. For me, it's trusting God's plan and your purpose because that's something especially I'd like to remind people that are struggling to hold on to hope is that you have a purpose and you are called to do something important and that means you are important, and even, not to focus so much on performing or achieving or doing something. You are just important because you are and you're amazing. You're a beautiful person that I believe you are created in the image of God. And I believe, everyone is on their own journey. And I'm not ashamed to share my story. And I share it in the book of the difficult past that I had. And if God can transform my life, if my life can be so transformed from the inside out, then I like to say I'm no one special. You can do the same thing. This can be everyone's story of transformation. And one of my favorite mentors that I look up to, he's a best-selling author and CEO, Dan Martell. In his book, Buy Back Your Time, he says that a lot of times if you're trying to find your purpose, a lot of times it sits next to the worst thing in life that's ever happened to you. So a lot of times that is the case where, I'm fueled by my passion to help others because of the difficult times that I went through. That's really a driving force. It helps me stay purpose driven. It helps me keep going when things are difficult because as any entrepreneur knows, it's not always easy. There are very discouraging days, especially in the beginning when you're trying to move forward with those dreams in your heart. But I'm I'm really passionate about telling people that you should follow your passions, your dreams. I'm a very multi-passionate person. I'm, it drives everything that I do. And I love reminding people, a lot of the items that we put in the care packages we send, say like follow your dreams, dream big. And I posted just yesterday, I believe, on my Instagram, a reel of a package I was putting together. And the theme was, focused on following your dreams, believe in yourself. Because I believe that when our dreams are so deep rooted in our heart and our soul, they are there for a purpose. They're from God. So that's my belief that, I believe that we're created for a purpose. If you have these passions, you should pursue those. You should go with what you're passionate about, especially if it's service oriented and that you can help others and make a difference.
Yeah, I really love your attitude because, as you said, you went through so many challenging time and you didn't allow those situations to affect you, the person who you are. Yes, you didn't become angry or you didn't become like a victim that always just think about why that happened, why I'm so unhappy, why I'm so unlucky. And you transformed this to passion to help people.
Absolutely. Yes, I have mantras that I like to repeat to myself sometimes, especially when going through difficult times, to get to that mindset because it's not always automatic. I have daily practices that I like to do, especially waking up in the morning a little bit earlier. I feel like if I can get focused and centered and really get my mindset in check, it makes a huge difference in my day. And one of a part of the one of the mantras that I say is I'm a victor and not a victim. So it's a mindset of I'm a winner, I'm an overcomer. no matter what it takes, no matter how it looks in this moment, I'm going to overcome. And just having that positive kind of like winning mindset has been key for me at times.
Yes, and as you mentioned that that right attitude helped you to understand that the worst situation which happened, they became the best because they gave you so much who you are now. Yes, like what
Yes.
you do today is just because you lived those moments when it was tough, as you said. And this is how it
Yes.
created your personality. You became the fighter, a fighter for the light, fighter for the hope. And now you became that matured enough to bring those strengths on the surface and show people, show the world, and find your passion. If those moments didn't happen, you would never be here on this podcast today.
I love that. I love that. Elena, I feel like we should go out for coffee sometime. And like, I feel like that is so key to just how I live my life where, you know, I don't want to accept any false narratives about, accepting anything as, it happened to me, it happened for me. And I share about this in the book as well, the importance of the growth mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck, I believe it is. You are becoming the person that you are meant to be, the person that you are created to be. And so along the journey, what you experience shapes you into who you are. And exactly what you said, you wouldn't be that person that you are today if those things didn't happen. And I believe from a faith-based perspective that God cares more about the person that you're becoming than really anything that you could possibly do. God cares about your heart and the person that you're becoming. And so you're you're very valuable in that sense, that it's who you are and the beautiful person that you're growing. I believe every day, we all have room to grow. Obviously, no one's perfect. And I think it's really important to keep that growth mindset. I share a little bit about in the book, but like I said, Dr. Carol Dweck, you can read more about the growth versus fixed mindset. And you just really have to adapt that growth mindset where, you know what, I may not be where I want to be, but I thank God I'm not where I used to be, and I'm learning more every day. I'm growing, and good things are on the way.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. I so agree with you. And it looks like we both went through many challenges in life. And because we came to the same understanding, this is how much we are aligned now because we gained that experience. When we look back, and of course, in that, when you are in the middle of that situation, you can think that it is the worst what can happen. But now, when some years pass and we overcame that situation. We grew from that. We transformed as human beings. And now, when we look back, we embrace that because we understand that because of that situation, now I am where I am now today. I would never be here. I don't even know what I would do, what person I would be. So, even people who did something bad or situation, now we have to thank them. Yes, thank that you did that because now I am here. I am myself. I am now who I am. And also, another perspective is that the bigger mission we have, bigger challenges we meet, because it is like the price we pay. Yes, we everything has its price, and if we have the big goal, if we really want to do something big, something like important in this life, really impactful, so we will be given those challenges like carbon for steel. Yes, the steel becomes firm. Yes, through those processes, and this is how we become firm and like that steel that don't even react for different things with other people can put in shock and in panic. But I think both of us would just not even notice what is that. There's nothing even to put attention, right?
100%. 100%. Yes. To everything you said. I feel like even recently, there's a song where it's the lyrics are, all this pressure got me feeling like a diamond. it's Honestly, part of the process, oh, excuse me. Part of the process, I love what you said earlier about being a fighter too, because especially when you're starting out on this journey, and a lot of it in the beginning especially is all faith. You just have to trust the process and keep moving forward, and having almost at times this delusional belief in yourself. You have to have such a strong belief in yourself that sometimes it's like, if the odds are against you, you don't back down. And that takes being a fighter and having that resilience and that attitude and motivation of like a champion. And so it's not easy to get to that point. And like you said, not being reactive to things. If people knew, kind of like, I'm sure you have the same, where all of the things that are going on in your life, it's not always easy, and I'm not always perfect. Obviously, I do get reactive, especially sometimes if I'm sleep deprived or a lot of high stress, of course. But you have to be able to start from that state of being present and focused, and knowing no matter what, even when it's very difficult, if the odds are against you, you keep moving forward, and that takes a process. And I believe Marie Forleo is another entrepreneur and CEO who has a book. Everything is figure outable. Everything is figure outable is the name of the book, and she talks a lot about process, not perfection. Too, it's the process, and just trust that you're gonna probably make mistakes along the way, but you need to give yourself a lot of grace and have compassion for yourself. I dedicated a whole chapter in my book about loving yourself, the importance of being very kind to yourself along the journey. And so you don't have to be perfect. No one is. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to have that determination and that grit to keep going.
Yes, I would add also that it is important to have burning desire, as Napoleon Hill told in his book Think and Grow Rich. Everything starts from burning desire. Once you identify what is that you really want, not that you can do what you think you can do, but what you really want. Because if you just think about what you can do, you think in small. Your goals are small. If you think like what is possible and how things connect in the future, that you will get that, it is thinking small. Really thinking big and that having that burning desire is to connect with your fantasy. Like really think, what if, what would I would like to do that will make me fulfill. For me, for example, success always comes with fulfillment. Success is not just having material things and totally be disconnected from yourself. I think the biggest tragedy is when people live life and don't discover who they truly are. And doesn't matter what material things they have. And we have so many examples from life when Hollywood stars and people who are very wealthy commit suicide, and we can think like, why, like they have everything, just everything what just people can be so happy, and still because they don't find that fulfillment, they don't find that purpose, they don't even value material things. So that is what makes us really happy people. Yeah, when we know who we are, when we find our that uniqueness, like that genius, which is in everyone. Yes, everyone is unique and genius and has those unique talents and gifts. And when we believe in ourselves enough and believe in God, have faith that we can do that. And it doesn't matter that we don't know how, but that faith and believe in yourself is the key to start moving towards that direction. And when you start moving, when you make decision that I'm going to that direction, I'm ready to do it, whatever it takes, I this is what I want to do in my life, then you will see how doors start opening, because you get in that frequency of your desire. And the energy, like that, like a big container, you get big container and you say, universe, this is me, this is my container, give me everything what is needed, give me that energy that I can fulfill my goal. And this is how it happens. This is what differentiates successful people from not successful people. And again, it success is not just a number of number in bank account. The success is the deep fulfillment when we live with the purpose.
Yes, yes. And I love that you pointed out that some of the most wealthy and famous people in the world are deeply unhappy. They don't have joy, they don't have peace of mind. So you know that material wealth is not going to, get that for you. And especially, I think people underestimate the importance of peace of mind. You could be on an exotic vacation, all inclusive resort, and you could be miserable. I don't think that people, I love what you said. People don't fully grasp, like, okay, can you put a price on peace or joy? What is it going to take? Um, I like to often think back to I think about a decade ago, I went on a mission trip to Nairobi, Kenya. And obviously, actually, the Mathari Valley where we visited was one of the most poverty stricken places in the world. And so, the children there, they didn't have much to play with, especially just I saw one boy just playing with like a deflated tire with a stick, in the street. That was excuse me, his toy. So you imagine, a lot of their homes are just made out of sheet metal, row by row in the Mathari Valley. It's shocking actually to see, but the people were so full of joy, so full of joy. They just radiated with this love and kindness and joy, especially the children. And, they often said there that, you know, our they a lot of them were Christians, so they said our faith in Jesus is everything, and people think that, they need everything, but we have God, and God is all we need. And so seeing it in action like that was just a very then coming back to obviously America. And I, at the time I wanted to excuse me, I wanted to just like sell all my possessions. I was like, I don't need to live like this. I'm going to get rid of my smartphone even and everything. I'll be fine with like a flip phone. But I think as you get into the culture and everything, you obviously lose some of that perspective. But I think just broadening your perspective and keeping in mind that they're onto something. Obviously, it's hard to shift your perspective unless you have like an experience like that where you're, immersed in such a different world. But um, yeah, I feel like the true joy. My true joy has come from my faith. It's come from my purpose, and exactly what you said is feeling fulfilled in my calling and what I'm doing.
Yes, I mean, yes, thank you for sharing this experience. It just made me think that, yes, when everything good and people have like good health and everything good, they think mostly about those materials things, what they want to have more, what they want to have more. But when they get sick, yes, when they get sick or something happens unexpectedly, they first of think what they think about is God. Yes, they start connecting to God and remembering that God is there, and they ask Him for help. Yeah, so isn't it better to live all life with this connection that we are not just like that friend who calls you only when he needs you or when he is in the trouble? Yes. So it is the same. Some people attitude to God is that he is like a bellboy. Like any trouble, they just call him, and he has to run and save them from that situation. It is not really the picture. Yes, we have to set those priorities as spirituality is understanding who we are, who God is, which quality we have, how we created as His image, as you said. Yes, so we have those high qualities which animals don't have. Nobody, instant, nobody has. For example, qualities of love, wisdom, uh, justice, mercifulness, and our imagination, that creative power tool which we can use to create anything in our life. And when we are connected to God and understand the powers which He gave us as His image, not of course physical image, but a spiritual image, which we all are spirit, because we can generate these ideas and connect to this universal web of where all information is. So when we live from that perspective, life is more grounded and we are more in the flow. We don't have those like up one side and then jump another side, one side, another jump, another side. But it is more like a river. Yes, like more like a river, and you not get so excited and you don't get also so upset. You can go and you look at life as it is and how you can trust the process. Yes, instead of pushing and doing things hard. Like river it doesn't dispute why it come this way to the ocean. It just flows and it goes to the ocean. Yes, and this is
Yes.
a lot relating to understanding who we truly are. That we cannot be happy when we are disconnected from God, because God gives us that meaning in life, a sense of having that purpose. Yes, and when we connect with Him, we feel His support and we feel that we are His loved children, and we have that peace in mind which you mentioned, and we don't react. We are more grateful for everything. We have also perception to look at things from different views. Yeah, so we're more grounded and we're more happy.
Excuse me. Yes, I absolutely agree. And I feel like that is the difference that a lot of people are missing, that they might be chasing after situational happiness in life, but they're really still trying to fill this void that they have inside. And my belief is that the void can only be filled with the love of God and having that personal relationship with God. And I've experienced that on my own journey. I share about that in the book that I wrote as well, because I know what it's like to try and live without God. And even at times on my faith journey, when things have happened, I've gotten mad at God and turned my back on God. And I know what that's like to feel that disconnect and try and, live life that way. And I feel like the main difference is that it's a journey. If you could seek God each morning or each day whenever you can. I like to start in the morning, because I believe these healthy practices that we can do to start our day off right, having that relationship, like you said, putting it as a priority and realizing that, excuse me, there may only be so much that I can do in my own strength, but if I start my day and with prayer, and I like to start with daily gratitude practice, also goal setting, writing down my goals, and also for me, most importantly, has been the daily devotional, a practice of daily devotional of however many minutes you have that morning. You can find a quick daily devotional, or you can find a quick inspirational message to start your day on on the path with partnering with God for that day. And I truly feel that if you trust that you're going to give that a shot, that you'll see the difference. You'll see the difference in having more of a partnership with God. There have been so many things in the last 5 years alone in this process of trying to move the nonprofit forward, building it from the ground up, that I have not done in my own strength. The odds were completely against me, thinking about being sleep deprived most of the time. We have three small children. My husband and I have both been working full time up until recently. I resigned from my full time job just last year, but I now have a part time job again. So we have a full plate, and life is very abundant. Life is amazing. It's also not easy on certain days. And so prayer is the way to, like you said, open up that relationship where I'm going to partner with God. I know that with with God all things are possible, and I trust that that can be, how opportunities can arise that I wouldn't be able to do no matter how hard I try. If I put in hours at something, it might not happen unless I invite God into the process. And that's my faith, is that doors just open in the right timing. People come onto your path. That's been one of the coolest things. I mean, us connecting today, is just a prime example of all God. People just coming along to either help you or inspire you. It's just been amazing.
Yes, really, I appreciate that we met, even through the third party, which we don't know well, but it happens. This is how it happens. We get to the frequency. It is like channels, different channels, and unlimited number of frequency. And people at the same frequency, they meet because it is where they are. Yeah, so it is, we always evolve and we always grow and we meet where our frequencies meet. This is the same as if I want to call you, I have to dial exact number. Yes, if I dial a different number, we'll never connect. So the same happens how people connect. Everything is energy, and we become
Yes.
magnetic to people who are in the same frequency as we are.
Yes, it reminds me of the quote, your vibe attracts your tribe. I love that because there are so many people. It reminds me of a Reese Witherspoon quote. I love this quote from her. She says, "As you're on your journey, just keep in mind there are a third of people that are going to love you and support you and be that cheerleader for you and have that same energy of like, you got this, you're amazing, I believe in you. Then there are a third of people who are just kind of neutral. They may not really care or notice. Then there are a third of people that will actually, for whatever reason, if they're projecting their own stuff that they have going on, maybe they're unhappy and they just can't see you happy, whatever it may be, they may actually try and pull you down. So those third of people, they actually will try to pull you down to their level. And Reese Witherspoon said, avoid the bottom third. I hate to say it, whatever it may be, you may have those people in your life, and I think setting up those healthy boundaries is so important to protect your peace, protect that energy, because you are growing, you're leveling up. It is a real, exactly what you said, it's a real um, energy shift when you can know that you are growing every day. You're getting to that level of, this is my energy, this is who I am, and you're attracting, your vibe attracts your tribe. So you're attracting the other people, and that is so the case because I, even through prayer at times, I prayed that I would find just like one person. You write a book and you kind of launch a nonprofit, this journey, you pray for just one person, if it makes a difference, or if it really resonates with just that one person, then it's worth it. And I prayed for that one person, and it, God connected us. She's like my biggest fan, and I don't like saying that, but she said that she read the book and she said it's she wrote me this long email. She said it's the best book she's ever read, and that to me is all glory to God because, I like I said, completely 100% partnered with God in the process. But when I got her email just crying, you know, it's the power of believing that those people are out there. And like you said, when you level up, when you get to that state of, this is who I am, I'm going to focus on positivity, I'm going to focus on my faith, I'm going to focus on my purpose, the right people will find you, and God will often send them to you when you need them the most. And now she's become like a prayer warrior for me. We pray together. She's um, one of those people that we connect, and it's like we're kindred spirits, like my long lost sister that was living in another state, and completely, it's truly amazing. And my hope is that other people will trust in their own journey, because like I said, I know what it feels like to be discouraged and to not have that like motivation that you can move forward and better things are ahead. So my hope is that people will know that, just keep going. And hopefully God also sends those angels to you to really help build you up and cheer you on. And you got this.
Yeah, Emma, thank you so much. Tell us before we wrap this episode up, tell us about your book. What is its title? Maybe you can show it to us, and
Oh, sure.
I'm sure that people who are listening to us would like to read it.
Absolutely. So the book is called Grace and Love, Experiencing the Transformational Change of God's Grace. And it's written in the style of a guidebook. It's really like a 12-step process that each chapter ends in actionable steps that you can take to really apply it to your life. So Here's the book. It's available on Amazon, barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com. And it's really, like I shared earlier, a journey of transformation from the inside out, and my own journey and my process that has led me this far by the grace of God.
Yeah, thank you so much. It was such a pleasure to have you as an amazing guest on our podcast. And I
Thank
appreciate
you.
you for sharing your heart and be so authentic and sharing
Thank you.
important in your life. So I'm
Thank
looking
you.
forward to see you again in our future episode.
Absolutely, Elena. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.